Hello everyone, so we are going to talk about some gods and goddesses today. So first what I want to do is take some books off the recommendation shelf because this one is not accurate at all. Like there's some places in the book that's accurate and gives good historically accurate information. But I'm taking this off the recommendation shelf. I said that in my last video, so I'm repeating it just in case somebody didn't watch my last video. So this is Norse Paganism by Martha Morales. Do not read, do not buy. If someone has it, tell them to not read this. There's some, like I said, there's some things that are accurate and things like that, but she makes hell to be out scary. Makes her out to be scary. Sorry, it's been a long day. Also, she says that Bor and Besla is Odin's grandparents. That's his parents. So, yeah. Then she says that hell is a place where people go to suffer. Yes, there are different sections of hell, which one being like elderly and sickly people that can't, fight in Ragnarok, right? That's where they go to be taken care of. Okay, there's children and the badly wounded who can't, fight in Ragnarok. They have a special place where they are taken care of. And yes, there is a very cold, miserable place for like the god awful people like rapists, murderers, wrongfully murdering people, oath breakers, shit like that. So, and then like a lot of her writings in this book were like, there's not enough detail, and well, there's not enough detail, but then it seems like the book was kind of rushed to be written. So there's a lot of missing information and stuff. So, and then she got the whole, like, Idun getting her apple stolen and stuff. She got that story all wrong, and then she wrote a different version in the Loki section. So, I don't know. I don't recommend that book. I'm going to take this one off, too. This is A History of the Vikings, Children of Ash and Elm by Neil Price. I usually like his books, and I did like this book, but it's really dry, and it's very political, and I'm not into politics. So if you're into that stuff, great, this is the book for you. But there were a few things in there that were inaccurate too. So he makes Vikings or whatever, pagans and stuff, out to be all poly. Not all Vikings and not all pagan people are poly. Anyway, there's a few other things, but I didn't write that down or anything. But just know that there's some sketchy places in that book as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go read about the gods and goddesses before I start chasing a rabbit with that. But just know I don't recommend those anymore. I had to actually read them to get the, to make sure you guys get the historically accurate information. Because I don't want people going around thinking that Vikings and pagans are poly and that Bor and Besla is Odin's grandparents. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, if you want accurate and detailed information, go under the featured channel tab on my channel, and you'll find Jackson Crawford and Midgard Musings, I believe. They do a lot of podcast stuff. But Jackson Crawford is a professor in this stuff. He knows his shit. He's historically accurate and knows all the pronunciations of all the gods and goddesses and a bunch of other shit. So that's where you should do your research and study and listen to what he says. He also has books that you can find, I believe, on Amazon. I think he has a website or something like that. He has a Patreon, all that good stuff. Um, okay, rant over. Okay, let's get into the gods and goddesses. So, first we have Aegir. And again, I am probably mispronouncing these. I've been trying to go on Jackson Crawford's stuff to get pronunciations correct. But still, if I mispronounce something, please feel free to correct me, because I'm for that. Okay, so Aegir, is the god of the sea and brewing. He is also known as Lair or Gumir. He is known for throwing lavish parties for the gods, like the feast in La Casina. If you have not read La Casina, you should read it. It's hilarious. Aegir's wife, is Ran, and together they have 9 daughters known as the Billow Maidens, who are spirits of the waves. Aegir means ocean, and if you were to see him on the surface of the sea, it was usually an ominous sign. He usually comes to the surface to drag ships and men with him to the bottom of the sea, and of course he is feared by sailors. He is not Aesir or Vanir. There is no mention of a rune association, but I think Laguz is fitting. And then we have Sigyn, which is Loki's wife. Let's see. Sigyn is the wife of Loki, and she is known for her loyalty, fidelity, and is a model of a dutiful wife. Her name means victory giver or friend to victory. She has shown in many tales of her sacrifice and always standing by Loki's side, even during his last punishment, when she caught the poison from a serpent hanging over his head in a cave. I feel like I already put that. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought I said cave above what I just said, but anyway. This Aesir goddess shows her compassion, loyalty, and devotion in many tales. Sigyn and Loki had 2 sons, Narvi and Vali, which Vali is later turned into a wolf who kills his brother. Narvi's intestines are used to tie Loki up in the cave. There are 3 aspects to Sigyn, and that is the devoted wife, the grieving mother, and the forgotten being. Sigyn loses her sons by the gods to try to knock some sense into Loki, so to speak. The 3rd aspect of Sigyn, as the most important, the forgotten being. She represents all the parts of ourselves that we have forgotten, maybe as in outcast or marginalized, those that live on the fringes, and prisoners. Sorry, I had to fix that. She tends to refer to our souls, symbolizing our true nature, the one which we have forgotten and neglected. Her rune association is Bracana. Okay, the next one we have is Skuld. Skuld is a Norn, or goddess who is responsible for weaving the threads of destiny for people. She is the youngest of the 3 Norns, along with Ulder and Verdandi, who represents the future. Her name means need or ought to be, or shall be, debt or obligation. Skuld, along with her sister, sat beneath Yggdrasil and spun the threads of destiny. The Norns are often present at birth and are associated with midwifery. Skuld also appears as a Valkyrie who would ride to take the slain, decide fights, and ensure all obligations were paid. She is the most feared out of the 3 sisters because she is the one who reads the patterns and dictates the changes that must occur. She is the path of inevitability, the one who governs when roads end. She is part of the Aesir tribe, and her rune, of course, is weird. Alright, so I'm going to take these down so you can see the third one, or the fourth one. Excuse me, it's been a long day. Alright, 4 we have Sinmara's name means pale nightmare or moon nightmare, hinting at a terrifying or ominous nature. She is a giantess, or Jotun, and keeper of the mythic weapon Lavatane. Hopefully I said that right. Her and Suitor represent forces of destruction, dread, and transformation. It is said that Sinmara, will only award the weapon to one who brings her the tail feather of the cock, creates an insurmountable paradox of obtaining it. There's not really many details on that. It's kind of vague. There is not much information about her, but her and Suitor will be a terrifying duo at Ragnarok. There is no mention of her being Aesir or Vanir or a rune association. So that is that. There wasn't really much information about her. Just basically that her and Suitor work very closely together. They're kind of lovers, kind of have a brother-sister relationship, but they train together, they fight together, they're always together, basically. So that's basically all the information that I could find about her. I want to say that she's mentioned in like the Poetic Edda and things like that, but I don't want to lie to you. If I do see something about her in any books or whatever, then I'll mention that. But mainly, let's see, it's the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda that all of the gods and goddesses should be mentioned in. But anyway, if anybody has any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know. Please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell for future videos. I will be doing more gods and goddess information videos in the future if this interests you. I do full and new moon readings, and then once I'm done with the gods and goddess information, then I'll get back to the divine tea time and tea tasting and things like that. It's just, I don't want to overwhelm the channel and give too much and it be long and winded and like all this stuff going on. I want to try to focus on a couple of things here and there and see how that goes. But I will get back to that. So if you have any requests or you would like a personal reading, just let me know. I'm always here if you guys need anything. But I think that's all that I have for you today. So I hope everyone has a good week, and I will see you next week for the full moon reading. And I'll see you next time. Blessed be.